There's a scene in The Matrix where Morpheus says,
"Stand here before you now, truthfully, unafraid. Why? Because I believe something you do not? No. I stand here without fear because I remember. I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me."
And I think resting inside of this short clip is the answer to why so many men struggle when it comes to self-confidence, struggle when it comes to self-belief. You know, if we buy into the belief that self-confidence is built and kept by keeping the small promises you make to yourself, anytime somebody tells me that they're struggling with confidence in an area in their life, I instantly know that this is a person, this is an individual, this is a man that does not hold a good reputation with himself. He doesn't keep the promises that he makes to himself. So why would he have confidence about where it is he's trying to go? Now, a lot of the men that I talk to on a regular basis are struggling with breaking free from a pornography addiction. They're caught up in this compulsive behavior that is keeping them shackled to mediocrity, keeping them from chasing their dreams, keeping them from creating deep and meaningful relationships. And a lot of them are trying to overcome this by keeping those promises in that area of their life. I can't keep the promise of not looking at pornography, Frank. Here's what we need to realize, brother. If you're struggling keeping the big promises that you make to yourself, but you'd never keep the little ones, how are you ever going to have the confidence? How are you ever going to have the belief in yourself that you can tackle this massive elephant that is sitting right in front of you? So what we try to teach the men here at Rebuilt Recovery is that the path to the path to overcoming your pornography addiction is not by building confidence and quitting porn. It's by looking at every single area within your life where you're not keeping those promises. Are you hitting snooze every single morning? Hitting snooze is breaking the first promise that we made to ourselves. It's us telling ourselves that, hey, we said that we're going to wake up at 6, 7, 7:30, whatever time that it was, but we're not going to do that. And then here our subconscious starts to keep a track record, starts to keep a history of Frank doesn't do what he says he's going to do. So when it comes to not giving in to the temptations later on in the day, our subconscious is in control and it's not going to allow us to keep those little promises. So what can we do if we're struggling with confidence in any particular area of our life? We need to get hyper clear on what the outcome of keeping those promises. If I know that waking up at 6 a.m. every morning is going to allow me to get to the gym, it's going to allow me to work on my purpose, it's going to allow me to build the business before I have to go off to my job, then I got to get deep meaning as to why those are important to me. And it's not that I tried to take the biggest bite of the elephant first. You know, Rome was built a day at a time by laying one brick at a time. An elephant is eaten by taking one small bite at a time. So if we're struggling with confidence across the board, we need to look at areas within our life we can quickly build small confidence. Keeping the promise of what time we're going to wake up in the day. Dedicating ourselves to having a gratitude practice. Dedicating ourselves to working out every single day. Small wins, small victories, and then the acknowledgement of keeping those promises is what's going to inject a level of confidence within you. So if I think back to 2019, when I set down the path of quitting porn for good, I was sick and tired. I'd hit rock bottom moments in many areas of my life. Businesses were crumbling. Relationships were falling apart. I really felt that there was no purpose or meaning for my life because I was spending hours every single day living in a fantasy world. But here's the interesting thing. With all the things that were going wrong, I had a pretty solid track record. I knew that if I set out and I committed to doing things, I could accomplish them because I had overcome massive weight struggles. I set down the path of dedicating myself to bodybuilding and walked across the stage and won multiple awards. I'd set and broken generational curses within my family from a financial standpoint. I'd started businesses. Despite they had crumbled, I had some financial success. So for me, it wasn't a lack of confidence. It was a lack of direction. It was a lack of intention, a lack of how I need to show up on a daily basis. But a lot of the men that we talk to and work with are struggling with the confidence. And the only reason they struggle with the confidence is because they don't hold a strong reputation with themselves. You want to break the chains of this addiction? You want to begin to build the self-belief and self-confidence that you need to overcome this and live the life that you were born to live? Start keeping the promises you make to yourself. Start small. What time you wake up in the morning? Do you have a gratitude practice? Do you have a morning routine? Are you getting to the gym? Are you not eating the foods that you promised yourself you're going to eat? And when you begin to build the confidence and keep those promises in those areas, you quickly translate that over to now I'm going to keep the promise of no longer returning back to pornography. And brother, that is your path to freedom. And that is the path to living a life that you were born to live. Now, if you want some help, guys, we've written a free ebook. It's called the 7-Step Guide to Living Life Without Porn, where we walk you through the process now that we've used with over 4,500 men, help them identify all the ways in which porn is negatively impacting their life. But more importantly, how to build a vision for the life that you can and should be living, and then how to inject responsibility, accountability, and support into your life so you can break the chains of this addiction, become the man you were born to be. The 7-Step Guide, guys, I'm gonna link it down there in the pinned comment below. But Frank Chris from Reboot Recovery, love you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.